I realized that it was a formula to how I was thinking. And through that formula, I wanted to help others to navigate their L's and use their loss as lessons.
Yeah. So what is one? Give me one formula, because we're going to put the book, The Art of Taking L's, and all their information in today's show notes, because you got to get the book. It's phenomenal. But what is one way of taking L's? Because I know me, when I get an L, I get a little emotional.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get stressed, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard. And I don't think people have really understand how to take an L and how to look at an L. So how are you teaching? But what's one thing to help us take an L?
Yeah, so the book is based on practical and biblical principle to help you navigate.
Biblical.
So the biblical, absolutely. The biblical is just understanding that all things work together for your good. And I know it's cliche, but when you really grasp the concept that like this thing looks terrible right now, but it will help you in your future, you'll begin to look at life differently. So that's one of the major principles.
When people come to you, Chanda, you know, I think a lot of people may come to you because they've taken a lot of L's. You know what I'm saying? They feel like I failed in life, I failed in this relationship, I failed at this, I failed at that. What are you seeing, which I know you can't talk to specific situations because of your license, but as a whole in the industry, let's just talk about in the Black community, what are the most common reasons why people are coming to you?
I would say mainly people come to my practice due to stress and anxiety. Feeling as though, you know, I should be able to persevere through this. I should be able to manage all these stressors with family, life, and career and just continue to go on as if, you know, I'm not suffering. And I think that that is a mentality that, one, in the Black community is very much perpetuated by white supremacy, of course, simply because we were taught that we can't necessarily have emotions, and if we do have emotions, that means that we're weak, which is untrue. Also in the faith-based community, I would say that's also reinforced as well, feeling as though we should have to like pray it away, or because we're children of God, we don't experience certain things, which is a complete lie, and the Bible tells us that. And so when we adopt these harmful notions, that makes us feel as though I shouldn't be going through this, I should be able to just persevere through and not necessarily feel the pain that I'm experiencing, feel the feelings that I'm having that makes me very much human. And so when I see people at my practice, my goal is to really normalize these experiences. Whether you're Black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. We're all going to have these challenges, but it's about knowing how we take the L's and experience it, feel it first, and then know how to kind of persevere through that.
You know, y'all talking good. This is why y'all twins. 'Cause y'all both talking good, because here's my problem with the church. And correct me if I'm wrong, you know, because y'all have an amazing father who is a very well-known scholar in the church community, and love him and look up to him. Hello, Bishop. Bishop, God bless you, Bishop.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad.
I think sometimes, I'm not talking about your church, I'm not talking about your dad, because your dad doesn't teach this, but I'm talking about the church in whole. We teach, hey, as long as you got God, all you need is King Jesus. And as long as you pray, that's all you need. You don't need to know the art of taking the L's practically. You don't need to go see no Chanda. No. Just go pray, go to church, and that's all that you need. While I believe that is the foundation of what we need, we do need to pray. We do need to seek God's wisdom, you know, but practically, He gave you the calling and assignment to help people mentally process through that. He gave you the assignment to help walk people through the practical ways on how to move forward and learn from your L's. How do we change that within the church community? Like, what is a conversation needs to be had so the body of Christ, specifically in our age bracket, understands, yes, all we do need is, and that's not even biblical. Don't get me go there. That's not even in the Bible. All we need is King Jesus. Because if all we needed was King Jesus, He wouldn't have made Eve for Adam. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there because some of the stuff that we live on is not even biblical. You know, see, even some of the songs that we sing in the hymns are not even biblical. Life is full of ups and downs, and when you're at your best, you feel unstoppable, ready to conquer anything that comes your way. However, there are times when life challenges can be overwhelming, making it difficult to be the best version of yourself. You see, that's where therapy can make a significant difference. By working with a licensed therapist, you can uncover the tools and insights needed to empower yourself and navigate life obstacles with confidence. If you're considering therapy, BetterHelp is an excellent choice. With this convenient, flexible, and affordable online platform, you can connect with a licensed therapist who understands your specific needs. Simply complete a brief questionnaire and you'll be matched with a professional tailored to your requirements. Plus, you can change your therapist at any time without any additional cost. Invest into your mental health and invest into your mental well-being and take the first step towards a more fulfilling life. Right now, you can receive a 10% off your first month by visiting anthonyoneal.com/therapy. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/therapy. Begin your journey to self-empowerment today. And together, let's get back to the show. They sound good, but it's not biblical.
Like what? Sing something.
Nuh-uh. That's y'all's gift. That's my brother's gift. I'm bringing my brother on the show, let him sing. But I'm just saying, like, what do we need to change? Because people watching right now, they're watching this and they're stressed.
Right.
They're watching this and they're literally going through an L right now. And I've known you all, and I didn't even know y'all were going through stuff. Because you're right, you're always smiling. You know what I'm saying? The only time I hear something from you is when you're sick. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, has she ever taken an L?
Yeah.
But I think sometimes that's good, but then sometimes that could be unhealthy as well.
Okay.
If we're not being honest. Yeah. But there's no way you got a sister staying at home who's licensed in that area and you ain't talking.
Right.
So.
But let me just say this. Just because you see me smiling, that doesn't mean I wasn't crying earlier that day. Right? So, of course, I'm taking time to process and feel, but I'm also not going to allow it to overshadow me or change who I am.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. What do we got to change in the church? Like, what does the church need to do differently to bring light to mental health, to bring light to really, really accepting the fact we're going to take some L's? You know, you're a speaker and author, and you're traveling around preaching God's word through your biblical stuff. And let's just be real, you're doing a lot through the NFL and the sports area, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, what do we need to do differently in the church to really bring light to healthy understanding of we're going to take some L's, we're going to go through life, and it's okay to see help to get through that season?
Mm-hmm. So I'll say step one, and you can just jump into number two, is number one, normalize it.
Ooh.
Like, we should talk about it more. Like, there is no reason why we shouldn't know about depression. There's no reason why a Christian should be suffering in silence, right? Yeah. The reason that they do that is because they don't realize that Sister Mary sitting right next to them is also, or may have also suffered through depression, right? So I think it comes from talking about it and having platforms like this, shows like this, writing books about it, having a private practice, the number one private practice in the United States.
She just gave her.
I did, because, you know, it is.
The twins are working. Like, we got a game plan. I like how she said it, having a private. Hold on, wait. Having the number one private practice in the United States. Okay.
But it comes from talking about it, right? And normalizing it in society. So I'll say that's step number one.
Yeah. I would say step number two, it starts from the top down.
Okay.
Right? It starts with our leadership.
Ooh.
Because we cannot have leadership that continues to reinforce these notions that as believers, we just suffer through it.
Yeah.
We just pray through it. We just preach through it. And granted, prayer works. I'm a 100% believer in that. But we also have to continue to teach the notion that we're not just physical beings. We're not just spiritual beings. We also have a soul. And our souls, that's where we house our emotions. That's where we house even traumas of our souls. And so if we're continuing to push this notion that we're all spiritual and not focusing on the soul, then we're losing out on being able to focus on the experience and also being able to heal people at that level.
Exactly.
Through modeling, right? Showing people that, yes, I have these emotions too. In the Bible, it talks about how David was depressed. It talks about how Elijah had suicidal ideations.
Jesus. In the Garden of Gethsemane.
Like, prayed until he experienced great
blood.
This is a double dog podcast. Sorry.
I'm like, hold on. I mean, I'm an interviewer. It's like, hey, Jesus!
Listen, because you can't say that name without getting excited.
Lord Jesus, yo. Listen, y'all are twins for real. Y'all feeding off of each other.
This is what we did.
They completely forgot I'm right across the table.
You can just take a break, Anthony.
All right, we got it.
Y'all going ahead. I'm over here like, and I'm having a good time because what's so funny is my good friend Patrice Washington, who is on the #1 network, Revolt's #2. The Neatness Network. It's so funny. What y'all are talking about is exactly what she was talking about on our show last month.
Wow,
I love that.
Like we're so. I think she said. What did she say, TJ? She said we are. She says the soul. Self is it self-awareness?
Yeah.
A lot of people are self-aware, but we're not soul-aware.
That's
wow, that's really
and just
good.
to hear y'all saying that, it's like, ooh, y'all got to get on her show.
Yeah.
Y'all got to get on her show because I think all y'all be on there just vibing.